What was once a home for the ill and the infirm on the outskirts of Ukraine's capital of Kiev has been turned into temporary housing. Dozens of families from Crimea who are seeking refuge after Russia annexed the Black Sea peninsula. Among those looking to start a new life in mainland Ukraine are Osman and Elmaz, Crimean Tatars who left their historical homeland as they began to fear for the safety of their children. Osman is a doctor by trade. Elmaz also worked in the field of healthcare. They had comfortable lives in the Crimean city of Yevpatoria on the Black Sea. Now they share a single room with their children.
It's not quite like home, but it's okay.
Kiev's residents have welcomed the flood of refugees, donating money, clothing, and hygiene supplies to help those with little financial and social support. Osman has begun offering medical services to other families at the facility, providing consultations and medication. Like others now living here, he and his wife reject the new Russian-backed authorities in Crimea.
We have no idea how they will act tomorrow as they exercise their power. How will they act against citizens? I was born when Crimea was Ukrainian. Why now should it belong to Russia?
Crimean Tatars, an ethnic Turkic minority who were expelled under the rule of Joseph Stalin, have resisted Russia's takeover of the Crimean peninsula. Many Tatars and ethnic Ukrainians, who make up a significant minority of Crimea's population, say they fear they will face discrimination under the new Russian-backed authorities. That's why many have left.
The main thing for me is for my children to be in a comfortable situation. They like it here.
Trains arriving from the Crimean capital of Simferopol carry as many as 30 refugees a day to Kiev. Volunteers meet those seeking refuge and help them connect with organizations that provide shelter and support. In one Kiev neighborhood, Lena, also a Crimean Tatar, has found temporary housing for her and her family. She says minorities faced harassment over a widely disputed referendum last month over Crimea joining Russia.
We didn't want to vote. They pressured us, walked from house to house, ripped our passports. It went quickly and then people started to lock their houses, but they knocked and entered even without invitation.
Lena says she knew it was time to leave when she saw Russia increase its military presence on the peninsula.
Soldiers came in tanks and armored cars. Tanks with soldiers were close to our houses. That is when we began to become scared. There were a lot of them.
Kiev's main square, which was rocked by months of protests, has become a hub for Crimeans seeking help. A small tent acts as a base for refugees and aid groups working with those who have just arrived in the Ukrainian capital. Valentina Nikolaevna, a pensioner from Crimea, says life won't be easy for those who chose to flee, which is why she's come to Kiev to help.
People who left Crimea, they lost their state, their homeland, their material welfare and their jobs. They lost stability. Crimea was a stable region for 15 years, quite stable.
For now, refugees from Crimea have the support of Kiev's residents, but it's unclear how many will choose to call the capital their permanent home. Most say they want to return to Crimea, but they don't know when they will again be welcome. Collison, Natalie Grivniak, Kiev.